Welcome back Pokefans to Pokémon Legends Arceus Part 29. Last episode, we made our way throughout Hisui as well as caught Spiritomb and Giratina. This episode, we'll continue completing the Pokédex. And as you can see, I'm actually training up my Basculin and it should be ready to evolve soon. Alright, so Basculin, in order to evolve, it should actually have around 200 or 300 HP damage from recoil. As you can see, my Basculin is actually ready to evolve. Once I defeat this Geodude, I'll just go ahead and evolve it. I think this is the first time I'm actually evolving my Basculin as well. So it should actually help me fill its Pokédex entry as well. Alright, so here we go. As you can see, my Basculin is actually a alpha as well as a female Basculin, which I really like. Because as you can see soon, it has a really cool color palette. And here we have it. Finally, we have Basculegion. And the female Basculegion, as you can see, has a blue stripe. Whereas the male one that we usually write has a red stripe. So this is pretty cool. It actually looks almost like a camouflage when it's actually swimming on the ocean. Alright, so this looks pretty awesome as you can see. Now I do want to actually go ahead and evolve a male Basculin as well. But I'm not really sure if I have caught one, so I would have to look into that. And as you can see, Coronet Highlands is already complete. So I haven't yet gone ahead and talked to Professor Laventon. We have to actually record that data as well. Other than that, there are only 4 Pokemons left to complete my Pokédex. That would be the Thunderous, Landorus and Tornadus trio, as well as the newly introduced legendary Pokemon, Enamorus. Alright, so that is gonna be our goal for today. In this episode, we'll go around catching all the 4 Pokemons, and we do have to actually complete their Pokédex entries as well. So it's gonna be pretty fun. Now, in order to encounter the Thunderous, Landorus as well as Tornadus, we do have to get its request. This can be done by making our way to Jubilee Village and entering the Galaxy Hall. We do have a cutscene with Kogita, where we will be able to get the new mission for it. So now that we have caught all the Pokemons that we needed, we can actually make our way back to Jubilee Village. Also, as you can see, I was finally able to almost complete 10,000 points. So 20,000 more left for the 10th star. Alright, now that we are here back in Jubilee Village, let me make my way to Galaxy Hall. If you have completed all the requests or the main missions till now, you should be able to get this new request unlocked. So let's make our way over there. I'm really excited for this as well, since it's gonna be a bit trickier to catch them and it's gonna be really fun. And here we have the cutscene. Alright, so Kogita is right here. I've just been told of the foul plan Volo had concocted. Well, think no more of that scoundrel. Oh. Just another tale of passion burning too bright and consuming its bearer. That is what happens if you allow it to. That is true. Unfortunately. But what of you? Are you making progress with your, what do you call, studies of Pokemon? Surveying, was it? Definitely. And it has been going well. Indeed. Well, Hisui still holds more fascinating Pokemon. Shall I speak to you of one of them? Which Pokemon would you like to hear? And here we have the new request. So she is going to be talking to us and unlocking all the 3 Thunderous, Landorus and Tornadus. Now, in order to get Enamorus, you do have to actually go ahead and catch all the 3 Pokemons as well as complete their Pokédex entry. So, at first, let's go ahead and catch all of these Pokemons. They are going to be in specific locations. And I guess we can actually start with the Obsidian Feelance, which sounds much easier than the other 2. So I guess we are going to be catching Landorus first. Alright, so I'm quite excited for this. All the 3 legendary Pokemons are going to be a bit trickier to catch, unlike the other Pokemons that we have caught till now. They're going to be having barriers around them as well as they will be in an area where you will have other wild spawn Pokemons also residing, which means it will be a bit trickier for you guys to catch them. Also, the trio will be quite fast at dodging you, so you would have to actually run around and dodge a lot, as well as have some really good items like spoiled apricorns or sticky barbs in order to break their barrier. Now here I am in Obsidian Freelance. In order to find Landorus, you do have to make your way to Romanesque Island. That is the place where Landorus will be spawning. And it is better to just go ahead and, I guess it's my recommendation, just clear out all the Pokemons on that island. Or else when Landorus is running around, you might get attacked by the other Pokemons as well. Anyway, it's gonna be a bit trickier for me since my controller tends to drift sometime. So I'm really hoping that I will be able to actually battle it, or try to at least break its barrier easily. Anyway, here we are in Romanesque Island, and it should be around here somewhere. Let me run around, and there it is. As you can see, it does have a barrier. Now I think it's gonna be seeing me if I go way too close. Let me see if I can actually go ahead and break its barrier right here. Unfortunately not. Okay, that was a bit far. Let me try that one again. And I'm hoping it doesn't really see me at this point. Okay, this is perfect. Ow, okay. I was not able to unfortunately hit it as soon. And as you can see, it is pretty fast, as well as spins tornadoes around you when it sees you, which means you do take damage. So I think the best strategy would be just to sneak around it. If it's on top of a hill, you can just sneak around from the below. So let me actually try running around and at least see if I can actually break its barrier again. And yes, do be careful of these tornadoes, as it might accidentally kill you as well. It's better to actually go ahead and save your game before you start the encounter with it. That way, if you do lose your items, you can just reset your game and try this one again. Alright, so it took me some time. All I had to do is wait for it to be on top of a cliff so I could just sneak around from behind. And finally, I was able to just break its barrier and quickly bring out my Pokemon. The main key over here is to quickly bring out your Pokemon the minute you break its barrier. That's the part where I was always failing. I was able to actually easily break its barrier, but I was having some trouble bringing out my Pokemon right at it. Thankfully, this turn I was able to do it, and let's see if we can catch it right over here. Okay, I guess we do have to actually try this several times. As you can see, my Pokemons are quite high leveled. I can't really, attack it again. So let's see if we can catch it this turn at least. Alright, so it is in the red. So this turn it should be able to be caught. And I am actually using my Archer Ball, which is much safer. And we did not catch it. Okay, I'm wondering if it will go down here. Now I did use Ceaseless Edge, which means it will be taking damage for the next 3 turns. So I'm wondering if it will go down right here. And it doesn't seem to have gone down. So it might have been 3 turns already. So this is perfect. Unfortunately, I won't be able to actually use Electrode or use its Thunder Wave in this turn. So I guess I can just go ahead and switch it out. Now I do believe that Thunder Wave or any electric move won't work on it. So let me try this one again. And yes, it doesn't. Okay, I guess the only other thing for me to do is just try using my Ultra Balls at it and hope that it gets caught. And we do catch it. Alright, so this is pretty cool. Alright, so we were able to actually catch it within a few minutes. I guess this is one of the easier ones of the trio. Anyway, now that we have caught Landorus, I'll just go ahead and cast the other two as well. Of course, we do have to complete its Pokédex entry, but I guess we can do that in a later time. And here we are in Cobalt Coastlands. Now you'll be able to find Thunderous over here in a thunderstorm. So I guess I do have to switch the weather to a thunderstorm. Let me go ahead and do that. And here we have finally the weather for thunderstorm. All we have to do is sleep until the weather changes. Now that we have thunderstorm, I'll just go ahead and save my game. And you should be able to find Thunderous just in between the sea right over here. So let me go ahead and go for a swim. We do have to actually go ahead and find it as well. And it's gonna be a bit tougher to actually see. As you can see, there is a lot of fog as well as very high winds going around. Alright, let me go around over here. So usually you will be able to find Thunderous near where the Gyarados is gonna be. Now the Gyarados will be around the two arcs over there. The best thing that I found was that it's better to just go ahead and defeat all the Gyarados that's around you, or else they will actually go ahead and give you some trouble. Finally, we are able to see the Gyarados as well as Thunderous. So it is actually swimming around a lot of Gyarados. Let me quickly go ahead and defeat the Gyarados. Since this is a ocean, Thunderous will be able to easily spot you when you come too close to it. The best strategy that I found is to just swim around in full speed with your Basculegion and then try to actually go as close to it as possible. Now if you go too close, it will actually start spinning some cyclones which might actually hit you. So you should be a bit careful. As you can see, it did spin it over here. Unfortunately, it did get away. Let me try swimming as close to it as possible, and you can always do the double jump to actually stop the time like this, and that should be able to make it much easier for you to actually target the Pokemon. Now this Thunderous did give me some trouble. I think it took me around 30 minutes to actually get it. As you can see, I am against the Alpha Gyarados, which I actually ignored from defeating, and now it's actually troubling me a bit. That's alright, at least we were able to at least start a battle with both Thunderous as well as Gyarados. Now my Samurott is gonna be going down soon here, but I do want to make sure that I catch Thunderous right over here. It's a bit trickier to actually try to actually break the barrier of Thunderous, as it moves pretty quickly and it's a bit tougher to see it in the thunderstorm. Anyway, let me switch out to my Electrode. It should be able to take care of the Gyarados. Once I take care of the Gyarados, I can then focus on my Thunderous. And the Gyarados is finally down. Alright, that's pretty cool. Now I don't really have any good move to actually use on Thunderous right here. My Electrode can only use Energy Ball and it won't really do that much damage. Now I could have used Hyper Beam, but I'm not really sure if it would take down the Thunderous, which is a pretty bad thing. Anyway, I guess this is pretty good. I will start using Ultra Ball at this range. I don't really have any other status moves that can actually work on it. As you can see, Thunder Wave doesn't really affect Thunderous either. Let me try using my Ultra Ball and let's see if we can catch Thunderous right here. And it did not. Okay, so my Electrode is gonna be going down, which is fine. Let me go ahead and see which Pokemon I can switch out. I guess the only other Pokemon that wouldn't really get affected would be Ursaluna, but if Thunderous knows a water type move, my Ursaluna would be going down as well. I can of course bring out Basculegion, but you know, Thunderous knows a really good electric type move. I'm hoping that I can catch it right here. Now I did think maybe I could use a move with Basculegion, but as you can see, Basculegion is at level 70 and I was a bit worried that it might take down the Thunderous. If it does take it down, then it would be another half an hour for me to actually go around and try to actually battle it. I guess the only way for me now is to just go ahead and use Ultra Balls. Knowing that the catch rate is better in this game, I think we'll be able to catch it within the 18 Ultra Balls that I already have. It has been a bit tougher for me to actually break its barrier. Mostly because this is a open sea and I couldn't really hide behind any of the rocks, as well as my controller was drifting a bit, so I did have some trouble. Anyway, since I really can't use any of these moves which might actually take it down, I think the best choice for me is to just go ahead and use my Ultra Ball. I do have only Ultra Balls, unfortunately. I am not sure why I never crafted the other ones. I'm really doubting if we can directly just go ahead and throw a Ultra Ball at it after breaking its barrier, which might be possible, but I've not yet tried it. Unfortunately, I was not able to catch it in this turn. I guess I do have to go ahead and switch out my Pokemon. As you can see, my Basculegion is also down. Alright, that is 3 of my team members. Now, I did have this crazy idea. I did go ahead and select Braviary, and I thought maybe I can just go ahead and use Brave Bird. I think it won't bring down the Thunderous. It shouldn't really. Let's go ahead and see if it goes down right here. If not, it's at a good health. And it didn't. Yes, that is awesome. Alright, so we are pretty well in the position. So I think this is a really good turn for me to actually go ahead and use my Ultra Balls. Now I'll go ahead and bring out my Ursaluna, and that is awesome. I was really nervous. I thought Thunderous might go down over there. That was a good turn. Alright, so we did catch Thunderous as well. Alright, so that is amazing. I'm really happy that we were able to catch it. As you can see, if not, I would have actually fainted right here. One more move from either another Gyarados or any other Pokemon. Alright, so that is actually 2 legendary Pokemons out of the 3. So let me actually make my way to Alabaster Islands. That's the next place we do have to go to. And once we catch the final Pokemon, we can actually go ahead and complete their Pokédex entries as well. Here we are in Alabaster Islands. I do have to make my way to Bonechill Waste. I believe that's where we will be able to find the final legendary Pokemon. And that is Tornadus. I did go ahead and heal all my Pokemons as well as restock my items. Bonechill Waste will have a lot of Glalie as well as its alpha form, which means that I would have to go around defeating all the Glalie first to clear out the space and then try to break the barrier for Tornadus. Alright, so I'm really excited for this. Also, you do need to make sure that the weather is gonna be a blizzard. And now, after sleeping for some days, as you can see, it's finally a blizzard. Of course, as usual, you will be able to find out the weather from your map. It will be on the top left side. And here we are on the Bonechill Waste. It should be just around over here. As soon as you see Glalie spawning, that's the place for you. And let's see, let's look around. It should be around here. And here we are. So there is Tornadus. Let me quickly go ahead and save my game as well. The very first thing I'll go ahead and do is defeat all of these Glalies that's around me. And once I've cleared them out, I can actually go ahead and deal with Tornadus over here. So Tornadus is also going to be really quick at spotting you. So we do have to actually sneak around it to break its barrier as well. Finally, I was able to break its barrier as well as throw out my Pokeball at it. This was actually much easier. I was able to actually break its barrier within 5 minutes. I think the one that gave me most trouble was certainly Thunderous. Anyway, as you can see, I do have my Arcanine in the beginning. And we did take down half of Tornado's health as well. And my Arcanine is down. Alright. Now I do believe that we can go ahead and bring out my Electrode. The electric moves are super effective on Tornadoes right over here. So I should be easily able to use my Thunder Wave. Let me go ahead and do that so that Tornadoes is paralyzed. This will make it much easier to catch it as well. Now that we have a chance, let me go ahead and throw out my Ultra Ball. And let's see if we can catch it. Alright, so we were able to catch it as well. I guess Tornadoes was the much easier one of the three. I was able to quickly catch it as well. And now that we have caught all the three legendary trios, let me quickly go ahead and complete its Pokédex as well. Kogita did ask us to actually show her the completed Pokédex. Now if you do actually forget to complete the Pokédex and go ahead and talk to her, she does have a dialogue for that as well. So let me go ahead and show that first. We are back in Ancient Retreat and Kogita has asked us to complete the Pokédex. So she is asking us to come and talk to her once we have completed the Pokédex. So let me go ahead and do that. And as you can see, all the 4 areas are now complete. Obsidian Fieldlands, Cobalt Coastlands, Cornet Highlands as well as Alabaster Islands. And it seems like they are almost half of the way completed. I guess we can actually make our way to Crimson Islands. That's the only place where the Pokédex is not yet complete. That is because we haven't yet caught Enamorous. That's where we will be able to find her. So let's go ahead and complete the Pokédex. I guess I'll make my way to Crimson Islands. And once we complete the Pokédex, we will have a chance to catch Enamorous as well. Now I did go ahead and switch out all the 3 legendary Pokemons into my team. And it's pretty cool to see them use their moves, especially on a different Pokemon. I'm of course going ahead and trying to search for Alpha Pokemons as well. I think the best way to get some experience candies is just going around defeating Alpha Pokemons in different areas. And those experience candies will actually help you a lot in completing some of the requests that are still remaining. So let me go around and try to complete the Pokédex for Landorus, Thunderous and Tornadus. I'll see you guys soon. Alright, so finally after 10 minutes I was able to complete the Pokédex entries for all the 3 Pokemons. Let me quickly make my way to Professor Lavington and report the entries as well. And here we have it. We did get a lot of points for this, especially since we did actually complete a lot of new research tasks. And now that we have completed the Pokédex, we can actually make our way to Ancient Retreat. Let's see what Kogita has to say to us. Here we are back in Ancient Retreat. Let's quickly talk to Kogita. You've arrived. You now know much about Landorus, Tornadus and even Thunderous. Well done. In more normal times, I would bid you let those 3 fly free as is their nature. But we are yet fresh from tearing off the space-time rift. Until its after effects fade entirely, perhaps it's better to keep our trios contained. And now it's time to tell you the rest. What is it? There is more to come. Oh, and here we have Enamorous. So finally we are getting introduced to our new legendary Pokemon. A Pokemon hailed as Herald of Spring. Enamorous is not particularly given to ill behavior, but I imagine you would like to document her as for your Pokédex, won't you? Catch her then if you like. She's always fits about in Crimson Islands. And there we have it. So finally we have the chance of trying to find Enamorous and catching her. Although we do have to go back to Crimson Islands. So let me make my way over there and we can actually try to encounter her and try to catch her as well. Alright, here we are in Crimson Islands and as you can see it is a thunderstorm. which means we do have a lot of new Pokemons just spawning in due to the massive mass outbreaks. I did go ahead and heal my Pokemons as well. So let's make our way and try to find Enamorus. Enamorus should be around Scarlet Bog, so let me make my way over there. And once we go there, we should be able to see her as well. It's much easier traveling with the help of Braviary around here. Alright, here we are. And let me look around. Scarlet Bog is pretty huge and there she is. Alright, so now that we have actually found her, we do have to try and break her barrier. As always, she is pretty fast, and that means we would have to again sneak up and try to use a sticky glob. Of course, I would have to actually go ahead and defeat a few of these Pokemons that are around here. And once that is done, I think we can actually go ahead and use our sticky globs to try and break Enamorus' barrier. Finally, I was able to have an encounter with her. The best thing to do to try and break her barrier is to use Verdure and running around. Verdure is much faster when you're trying to run on this muddy area, which might actually slow you down if you're trying to run on your foot. The best thing I found was just using Verdure, running around and immediately jumping out of Verdure to use your sticky glob. And once you have actually stunned the Enamorus, breaking its barrier, you can easily go ahead and use a Pokeball to try and start a battle with it. Now I am going to be using Thunder Wave to make sure that it is paralyzed. And now that it is, I can actually go ahead and finally start using my moves. Alright, now I believe that it is a fairy type, so if I go ahead and use a poison type, it might take the Enamorus down. So let me try using energy balls until Electro goes down, and then maybe switch out to another Pokemon. And here goes down Electrode. Now after catching Enamorus, we do have to actually complete its Pokédex entry as well. Alright. As you can see, I do have Sneasel in my team this time. It's actually my shiny Sneasel, which I have been trying to train up for the Path of Solidity request. But I guess it will be going down over here as well. Alright, that is a pretty good health. So let me go ahead and use my Ultra Ball at it. And let's see if we can catch Enamorus right over here. And we do catch it. Alright, so we have got Enamorus. This was pretty difficult. I guess it was much difficult since it was on a sludge mound. I guess that's the whole challenge. And finally our Pokédex is completed. Now I do have to complete the Pokédex entry for Enamorus before we go ahead and talk to Kogita. So let me make my way back to the camp and heal my Pokemons. First of all, I do want to actually go ahead and talk to Professor Laventon right here. We do have to record Enamorus data in the Pokédex before we start completing its entry as well. And finally we have some new data. And it is at level 6. Not bad. It's gonna be pretty easy to complete its Pokédex entry. Let's see what Professor Laventon has to say now that we have completed the Pokédex. A completed Pokédex at last. Though in a way you could almost call this Dashidex. Alright. And of course you had your directive, didn't you? I recall the message you received when you first fell down to this land. Seek out all Pokemon, was it not? It seems you finally achieved that goal. So, where must you go now? I guess we do have to go back to the Sinnoh temple. Yup, and Mount Coronet. You'll find nowhere else in all Hisui closer to the heavens. That is true. You are practically among the stars up there, as if one with the universe, all creation. What will happen there, I wonder? My scientific curiosity is positively rolling. But Well, this isn't my tale of adventure, it's yours. This is for you and you alone to go and find out. Alright, so that is actually an indication that we have to make our way to Coronet Highlands, as well as make our way to the temple of Sinnoh to finally go ahead and battle Arceus. But for now, I do want to actually complete the Pokédex entry for Thunderous to show it to Kogita as she had requested. Now we are being sent back automatically to Jubilee village, unfortunately. Let me actually make my way back to Crimson Mylands and complete the Pokédex entry for Thunderous, and we can go from there. Alright, now that I'm back in Crimson Mylands, let me quickly go ahead and add Thunderous into my team as well. There was another request back here in Crimson Mylands that I had actually forgotten to complete, and that was the request from Erda. She did want to actually go ahead and try to battle with the form of Palkia. So I do want to do it in this episode as well. So let me go ahead and add Palkia into my team as well. Now that I have Palkia in my team, I did go ahead and transform it, and it looks really cool. And here it is. So it looks really awesome. I think it looks better than the battle cutscene that we had. I also have the other two shiny Pokemons that I had evolved. I think shiny Ursaluna looks way better than shiny Ursaring personally. Anyway, now that we have completed transforming Palkia, let me quickly go ahead and complete the Pokédex for Thunderous as well. Alright, it took me around 5 minutes, but I was able to actually complete all the research tasks for Thunderous. Let me quickly talk to Professor Lavington so that it can be recorded to our Pokédex. And now finally we can actually make our way to Irida and try to fight her with our Palkia. Alright, here we are, and I have just gone ahead and leveled up my Palkia a bit as its moveset is not that great. Anyway, let's go ahead and challenge her. As usual, she will have 3 Pokemons. One is gonna be her main Pokemon, which is her Glaceon. And the other 2 are gonna be the Espeon and the Flareon. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and defeat both Flareon and Espeon, as it's gonna be much easier to do so. Alright, so that was pretty cool. We were able to defeat it in one move. I'm hoping the same for Espeon over here as well. As you can see, the moveset for Palkia is pretty bad, as well as it got Frostbite, and now it means my health will be going down for the next 3 turns. Let me try using Spatial Rain and see how much it does. Okay, that was a critical hit, and as you can see, it still didn't take down the Espeon, which means that Palkia is really not that good over here. Alright, I guess I can just go ahead and try using Earth Power, which should be able to take down the Espeon right here. And we have the Glaceon left alone. Alright. And thankfully we didn't really go down right here, which was quite lucky, or else I would have to try that one again. I'll go ahead and use a max potion as it's much easier, and the frostbite should be going down. Alright, let me try using Spatial Rend on the Glaceon, which did almost nothing even though it was a crit hit. And I'm really hoping that the frostbite will be stopping. Alright, at this rate I might have to actually go ahead and use another max potion if this frostbite doesn't really stop. Let me actually try and use a Earth Power. I believe I can actually still live at this health. And yes, I think I can just go ahead and use Spatial Rend. That should take down the Glaceon at this health. Let's see if it does. And we defeated the Glaceon. Alright, so we didn't really have to heal Palkia again. And I think this was much tougher than Adaman's battle. Anyway, we have defeated her, and I believe we'll get a leaf stone, or I think a ice stone in the case of Erda. So this was pretty cool. I really like the fact that both of the leaders did try and battle with us against their legendary Pokemons that they worship. Alright, so now that this is completed, I think we can actually make our way back and go ahead and talk to Kogita, as we have completed the Pokédex entry for Enamorus. And I think that also means that we have completed the Pokédex entries as well, which means we will finally be able to try and battle Arceus as well as catch it. So that's our one final goal left, which is really exciting after going through so much of this whole journey trying to catch all the Pokemons. This has been pretty cool. Alright, so let's make our way back to Ancient Retreat and go ahead to talk to Kogita. I am quite excited to see what she has to say about it. Alright, here we are. You have got Enamorus as well, and you know much about her. Enamorus arrives in Hisui once winter has passed, hence called Herald of the Spring. Okay. I wonder why it's not there in Sinnoh. Her company when I have the pleasure is of great help. She ferries me hither and yon across Hisui, but I leave her in your care for now. I suppose. For now? Indeed, even you can hardly expect to live all time, surely, but she will be in your care for now. Here, this is the reveal glass. If you use it on Enamorus and her brethren, they will assume different forms. Alright, so we did finally get the reveal glass. This is actually a way to change the forms of all the trio as well as Enamorus. Let's go ahead and do that as well. I really think that some of the forms of these Pokemons are pretty cool. So we can actually go ahead and do that in this episode as well. I'm really excited of what will really happen if we make our way to the Temple of Sinnoh. As you might know, we have completed the Pokédex, which means we have a chance to battle Arceus. I'm really excited to see what kind of battle we'll have. We did have the same kind of noble Pokemon battle for most of the legendary Pokemons, so it should be pretty fun. Alright, let me make my way back to Jubilee Village and we can use the reveal glass on all the 4 legendary Pokemons. Alright, here we are in Jubilee Village. Let me quickly go ahead and bring out all the Pokemons into my team and we can go from there. Alright, here we have it. Let me go ahead and transform Thunderous. And now that it is done, I can go ahead with Enamorus. Alright, let me go to Thunderous. It does take some time for the pop-up box to come up. And finally, we have Tornadus. Alright, let me go ahead and transform Tornadus as well. And here we have it. So let me quickly go ahead and bring them out so you guys can actually see them as well. Alright, Thunderous looks pretty cool, although it is hovering. And here we have Enamorus, which is pretty weird. Thunderous is cool looking as well, but I really like Tornadus, so it looks amazing. I really think the design is pretty cool for it. Anyway, we have now completed our Pokédex and I think this is a good place to actually end out this video. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And it has been pretty cool playing Pokemon Arceus till now. We do have around 1 or 2 episodes left and I think we'll be able to complete it. So thank you all for watching and I'll see you guys in the next episode.